Crap. Howdy and aloha, everyone. It's James with Mana Talk. Mana meaning mystical Polynesian power, and talk meaning use your words. Thank you for being here. I'm going to try to go through a lot of social media here tonight. It's Social Media Saturday. It just seems there's a lot to catch up on. I think, honestly, it's just, how do I say this? The theater. The show is going on. I'm not seeing anything too different. I know that steak still costs a hell of a lot of money. Pork. Maybe milk has gone down a bit. Maybe eggs have gone down a bit. Gas is better. But it's still... But God, can I get a T-bone? I mean, I remember steak used to be, back in 2019, I would get like 2 T-bone steaks for, I don't know, $12, maybe 10. It was like $4.99 or something like that. Now it's like $45. It's still ridiculous. All right, so I mean, and we still haven't seen any tallow. Right? There's like some of the smallest food chains, restaurants out there that have fryers are now using tallow, but there's only like 4 or 5 of them. So, you know, I like what Kennedy's doing, and I like what a lot of what Trump is kind of doing. The guy's not perfect, I get it, but he's working his ass off. I'm just not seeing anything until the threat of a Comey indictment. Is that what's happening, or is it actually happening? I'm still hearing a lot of threats. Oh, God, I want to eat that apple. I'll drink some water. But anyway, there's just... time's moving on, and you can't give the globalist predator class time to recoup, to reorganize, or to restructure their world terrorist group. And most of you that understand what I'm talking about, that have watched Monotalk since 2017, you'll understand that I have a valid point by calling a small group of people out there that are still the globalist predator class, severely connected with the Demoncrats and a few Republicans, Rhino Republicans. And it's just, I'm just not seeing anything. And Comey may be the beginning. I am hearing that Trump wants to do wants Pam to go after the rest of the J6 committee and the 2020 Fluvid-19 scam voting registration, not registration, but the how Fluvid-19 extended the time so that the Demoncrats could better alter and rig and fix or cheat, basically, in 2020, and then, Russiagate and all that other crap is, and he wants to do it, I think, from what I'm hearing, before the midterms, which is a good idea. But, I mean, if you've got all the evidence, and I always say this, and I've said this for a long time, there's just more than enough evidence to show. We just have had recent confirmation that Joe Biden and, Matt Taibbi and a bunch of other people, even I think it was my senator, Eric Schmidt, who sued to get information in regards to Biden and the Biden administration during 2020, 2021, 2022, whatever, pressuring anybody and everybody on social media to say their narrative, and anybody that had a different narrative and that challenged COVID, that challenged COVID-19, that challenged that administration or anything that they were doing was getting censored like crazy, and I was part of that. I'm hearing that Vivek is, I believe, going to start maybe a class action lawsuit or wants to go after Google for taking down a few recent channels. I think it's Alex Jones, but Google itself, if you know ABC and Google, they're, from what many have said and somewhat proven, is that they're like a deep connection with the CIA, and Central Intelligence Agency. I don't know, but the thing that I'm trying to, that I have been trying to say is that, our First Amendment rights were violated. Clearly, I mean, this channel was taken down for 4 years, appeal after appeal after appeal. It finally came back up, and I'm still trying to figure out why. I knew why they took it down. It like I said, it wasn't matching the narrative that the Biden administration was seriously and almost threatening Zuckerberg and a few others and whoever else to take down shows like mine. Because I was just trying to warn people, why would you want to take something in your arm that has absolute indemnification, meaning that you can't sue in case it, kills you. They wanted to hide the data from the so-called tests from this thing they wanted to put in your arms, which I still got to speak in nomenclature. I still have to speak in, sign language and crap. I can't really say exactly. And some people are now, but it's, I still, until Google is sued, which hopefully Vivek and a few other people are going to do, and the class action suit happens, and I want to get I should get a big piece of that, because my channel was growing tremendously. I was getting people to pay attention. I may have saved some lives. I know one person for sure that was paying attention, that hopefully she appreciated, but I think she was right there with me, and we were both saying the same thing. I mean, she had that kind of common sense when it came to how the government, and she understood what the Biden administration had been doing all along. But I'm glad that she's okay. But here's the thing. There's nothing really happening to anybody. I'm just not seeing actual charges. So let me just see if I can see anything, because I'm going to search real quick for that, because I'm bringing it up. And oh, by the way, I just thought I'd say there's a lot of different perspectives, a lot of different theories and presumed conclusions, you could call it, in regards to Charlie Kirk, and how he was assassinated. And the biggest point I want to make about that is to create the open and shut case in just a matter of a week or so. It just doesn't seem right. It just doesn't fit. It just seems a little bit too quick. I mean, is anybody else feeling this? Now, Kirk's wife, his family, and his friends and loved ones, I get it. We don't want, but wouldn't you want the closure that he deserved? What would Charlie Kirk do? Right? Would he want to know more about his own death and how that worked? Of course he would. If he were to come back from heaven, which hopefully he's there, which I'm pretty sure he's damn close or in it solid, he was a decent man. And I think that he would definitely, absolutely question what's happening. Right? And just to say it's an open and closed done case, and there was a guy down the way with a 30-06. Right? I mean, if you've I've fired a 30-06 before when I was a kid, and I'm telling you right now, that thing, the projectile out of a 30-06, right? This is back when my family members had the gun racks in the back of their truck window. There was one hanging there. There was this big ass freaking bolt action gun. Now it's fucking gigantic. But if that thing gets gets close to you, it's gonna blow a gigantic hole out of anything. I don't care what it is. Right, front and back. It's like a 50 cal. It's close. I'm just saying. It's probably one of the biggest bullets out there that you can get. There's a 308, 300 mags, and there's 300 blackout. There's, there's several others. There's a 12 gauge, 10 gauge. There's shotguns, right? But, 7.62s. There's, the 5.56 is smaller, so AR-15. But the thing is this thing is, it's just, man, just this whole thing about just not looking any further to see. I mean, come on. You'd have to believe that Charlie Kirk would want there to be a deeper and more thorough investigation. And I hope his wife and his family and friends or whoever understands that. What would Charlie Kirk do? Absolutely. He would say, "Fuck, you guys better find out exactly what happened." And that's what exactly he'd want to do, to just keep this, just look at every single video angle. And I'm sure there were dozens of people filming it, and there were different angles. And now the longer we wait, the more there's different perspectives, right? This one right here is showing Jimmy Dore's. Jimmy Dore's brought up like 2 or 3 different theories. This one is the most recent, where his microphone may have exploded, like an intentional, like pagers that they used back in the day or whatever, may have been rigged to kill him or something in that. But we don't know. That's the thing, is it's something that needs to be addressed. It's something that needs to be looked at. We know that Candace Owens got lots of different perspectives as well, but I think we need to think about what he would do. What would Charlie Kirk do? Damn right he would. He would look at every aspect, every angle, and he would ask the questions. What the frick happened? Yeah, there's some interesting stuff going on. All right, so as we jump down here, Trump's making a weird U-turn on Ukraine. Mushrooms are great. What's it called? What's the name of the mushroom? Not magic mushroom. Is this monotite? Yeah, it is monotite. Okay. Yeah, I did this whole thing of mushrooms. It's called turkey tail. Turkey tail, and then just lion's mane. Mushrooms, all these things that could be very beneficial that cancer doesn't like. A billion views for liberty. Looking back, looking ahead. Tucker. Everybody's talking about what Tucker said at Charlie Kirk's memorial. Oh my God. I mean, you gotta fucking. It's just. I mean, he's basically saying that, maybe Israel and everybody were after him, and there could have been a connection. I mean, you got to look at it. We can't just, as a country, as a people, as a species, as a community, just say, hey, that's it. Just, it's the 9/11 thing. Oh, it's just open and close. No, Building 7, Tulsi Gabbard, who always thinks that she fucking knows. She just, there's no way that woman knows. There's no way that woman does not know about Building 7. If I hear her again say Building 7, excuse me, if if I hear again say something about 9/11 and it was a terrorist attack by whoever, like the official, something close to the official story, I'm gonna fucking call her. I swear to God. Nice ripe orange. I'm gonna call her and say, hey, are you nuts? What else we got? Honoring Charlie Kirk. There's a lot of people. So we need leaders who will protect our community. Oh yeah, and I love the fact that Trump is going out to Chicago. He's going out to Portland, Oregon. They're all freaking out about that. Well, you've got a bunch of fucking criminals running crazy in your blue states, and people are concerned, and they're worried and they're concerned. That's basically what's happening. Oh, look at that. There's Red Economics right above there. Yep. I wish she would do something. Gosh, she's so great at this. I might do a tribute to her. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, for one, she's great. She's great at it. No matter what happens, relationships or whatever that happens, she had the most amazing way of conveying her information and her research, and the way she did, and she had really great one-liners in that, her voice and her twang as far as the West Virginia, and all that stuff. I just thought was just great. I tried my hardest to get her. The more I asked, the more she didn't want to do any more shows. It really got weird. But anyway, I hope she just comes back and does it. I know everybody would open their arms to her again, because she's needed out there. Whatever her stance is, whatever that's not important. All I'm saying is the girl has a gift, and she was a diamond in the rough, and I was trying. Anyway. Oh yeah. And then Trump goes to the staff meeting, the UN meeting, and just blows that up big time. And then he claims that Amish have no autism, and I can't find a record of denying that. It's just that the Amish don't go to the doctor much. They don't. I mean, only in extreme situations will an Amish family take their son, their daughter, family member to a doctor, because they have ancient remedies. They have things that have used that were taken down by the Flexner Report back in like 1910, 1912, somewhere around there, which you should look up, but which was created by, I think it was the Rothschilds, or no, not the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, to implement modern medicine. Now, I'm not saying some of that old stuff is snake oil. I'm not saying that it's the greatest stuff in the world, but that we've been, thousands and thousands of years of trial and error. There have been some weeds, like just dandelion, like the most hated weed by Roundup, is a great thing to have. There's so many medicinal, positive medicinal attributes, or it's not like a medication, but it's there's been some really great things that I do know that your dandelion weed, it has some great things in it, and grass itself isn't really good. President Trump delivers a marquee on his assembly. Let's see. You know what's weird is when I make this, I there's so much stuff I put that I capture and I save on this Monotalk, and then when I go to do it, Oh, you gotta watch this. This is important. It's a commercial. Wait. I don't know.
Almost done.
Alright, come on, commercial. Oh, there's that commercial. Right there. Wait. Opioids commercial. That commercial's been around for 2 decades. What does that say? And then they have a medication for addiction. I mean, what does that say? You guys still get... Demoncrats love poison. Demoncrats love poison. It's just sad. Okay, watch this. This is good. Music meets you. No, I don't want that. Alright, so this Korean person or Taiwan. Well, that was cute. That's cool. I mean, that's fine. And, I just think that was cute and fun. And she's cute. And that's cute. God bless America, right? I don't care if it was in San Francisco, New York, or Texas, or wherever. But I thought it was kind of cool. Let's go back to here. Yeah, so... The thing that I have been saying for a long time, I don't know, at least 6 months, is Trump has the royal flush. I think he's got more than enough information, more than enough files. Oh, the reason why I'm on late tonight, by the way, was because I was watching the Penn State Oregon game, and I like the Ducks. I've always liked the Ducks football team, and they beat Penn State. I mean, I like Penn State too because I used to like their linebackers. That was kind of a tough one for me. But let me see here. State Oregon game. And I like the Ducks. I've always liked the Ducks football team. But anyway, so, Trump has the royal flush. Oh, there's my channel. I kind of changed it a little bit. I used, instead of my face on there, I'm wearing a cap or whatever. But from what I've said for a while is that Donald Trump has more than enough criminal, treasonous, tyrannical, authoritarian type evidence beyond a shadow of a doubt, unequivocal information and documents and emails and videos. I mean, I've got enough myself and a few others to eradicate and possibly completely remove the Democratic Party. which basically all of them have just become Demoncrats, and I am talking about the supporters now. I posted on my Facebook the other day. It's just, ever since Charlie Kirk and just the stuff they've been doing and saying, it's just crazy, delusional. It's disgusting, shameful reactions, and how they've it's just, God, it is just embarrassing. And I know some of these people too, but Trump has more than enough information to put these people away, and I'm talking with the stroke of his pen. The question is, does he want to keep the theater, like I was saying earlier, going? And I'm concerned that Pam wants to keep it going, but I'm also hearing that he wants to do it during the midterm, so we'll see. I mean, will it happen? Will Trump, with all the information that he has, will he go after the Democratic Party and all the oh my God, I mean, Adam Schiff. You know how many pandemics we'd have if Kamala was president? Our sovereign rights would have been turned over to the World Health Organization. And I always think about that. I voted correctly, and I did vote. And there are people like, well, I don't vote anymore. Well, it's you. You can do whatever you want. Nobody's making you. But I was in the Navy, right? And I remember being on that ship, working 12 on and 12 off. And twice I did the food replenishment to feed 6,000 fellow Navy sailors and a bunch of Marines. And I worked, I don't know, I think it was like 28 hours straight. We started off with a 150-man working party that took food from either dropped from the Sea Knights or the helicopters, Sea Kings, or they were ship-to-ship replenishment by these cables that would just send a bunch of pallets across, wrapped in nets. And then I was the PPO, petty officer of that, and I was in charge of 150 fellow subordinates and peers or whatever. And when we started off with 150. Probably 8 to 10 hours later, we'd lose like a quarter of them. Because it was hard for me and my team to keep track of all of them. I don't know how it is now, but a lot of these guys would skate, and then we'd do a roll call. I think it was like every 4 hours we'd try to do a roll call. We all meet back on the hangar bay, I go say all these names and all these guys are missing, and about the 18th hour, there's less than half who we start with, so we had like 75 people left. And towards the end, like the 20th, 24th hour, there's maybe a third left of these people, maybe 30 people. And I'm still humping these boxes, and not humping like sexual humping, but we call it humping because we used to hump steel when I used to work. I was a steel worker a while back, just for a little bit. But it was fucking hard work. But at the very end, we were all talking to each other, and these guys would walk by and goes, do you guys even hear yourself talking? And we're on the 20th straight hour of working. And we're like, what? And they're like, we can't understand a word you guys are saying, but you guys are having a real conversation with each other. Like, you guys understand each other. Because we don't. we're actually speaking it. It seems like we're speaking in tongues or some alien or ancient alien language or something because we're fucking tired. And I'm busting my ass. And I remember that flag on the hangar bay door. My buddy who painted the Tom Johnson, just one of the best sailors I ever knew. He was 6'6", and the bed that you sleep in is 6'6", and maybe 1.5 feet high, and 2.5 feet across. It's tiny. My shoulders barely fit in there. Right? He had a hard time because he was fucking taller than shit, but he was also a great artist, and he helped paint a mural for the Golden Eagle, which is the Carl Vincent is called the Golden Eagle. You know, that's the nickname. And that thing's been a lot of stuff. It was when Bin Laden disappeared, which is interesting. But I'm patriotic. You know, I'm fighting for that right for you to be able to vote. I'm fighting for that right for you to be able to speak freely. I'm fighting for that right to protect yourself with your Second Amendment rights. I'm fighting for so many things. I'm out there replenishing food. I never pulled a trigger. Well, actually, I shot a 50 cal off of the deck, off one side. They were letting people do it. I go, fuck, I am so doing this. And I was in this line. It was all giddy. We're going to fucking shoot it. And there's this big giant buoy that they put out. It's this big, it's like a big red ball or something. Looks like a giant keg, but it's way bigger than a little bit bigger than a keg. And you're trying to hit this thing that's way out in the ocean. And you can just hit a few. And I mean, the power in this thing was fucking awesome. But that's about the extent. But we did some flight ops. We didn't do any deployment at the time. I was in dry dock mostly for at least a year in Bremerton, Washington. But I served in the military. And I remember after we started getting into Desert Storm, which was the 90-day war, we were in, I think, just on our way getting out of dry dock. And we were about to go on deployment, but then I left. But anyway, I just didn't, I was cheering us on, but at the same time, I just didn't like war. And I know Trump doesn't like killing either. And if you think he does, then you're off. Yeah. A lot of people I know still have Trump derangement syndrome. This is real. No matter what the guy does, he's hated. Doesn't matter. But like I've said, I've done tons and tons and tons and tons of research on Donald John Trump. And I'm telling you, the guy's a real decent human being. He's not like any politician that you've ever seen out there. Some people say that I know of and I talked to, I was talking to this girl the other day, he's just part of the opposition. It's all a psyop, but it's just a little different with him. I think a lot of the things that he does is because of who he's surrounded by. And I'm not sure if he's part of that mechanism. I just don't see it. I mean, if you watch the UN, and he came right out and said, like right off the bat, your states, your countries are destroyed. And he knew who he was talking to. There are so many. The globalist predator classes has basically destroyed a ton of countries out there. Yeah, I need to check to see if there's anybody on. Oh. Alright, hold on. All right. Somebody, who's this? Angie Garcia. Wives hire hitmen all the time. His wife gives me the creeps. My guess is this was a sophisticated operation. And Tyler Kirk was assassinated. It sounded like firecracker. Something doesn't add up. I went to the school with the assassin took place. Interesting. Well, all right. Well, hopefully she won't troll too much, this Angie. The thing is, the first video I ever saw, and I looked for everything because there was a bunch of them. And I've seen gruesome shit in my time. Trust me, I have. I heard the shot. It wasn't from a distance, because usually there's a slight delay. You'll see it happen, and then you'll hear the shot. If it's more than 100 yards or 200 yards, and it could be but you can actually tell. But it was like a close-up shot, and there's just so many people now. And I'm going to jump back to that because there's so many people that have said so many different variations of this, right? Let me see if I have this one from... Here it is right here. They just admitted it. No autopsy. This is the biggest problem here. And I'm glad Angie brought this up. And she thinks it's the wife wanted him out. Who knows?
Stage in the emergency room bay.
Jesse just told me that he just got on the phone and Charlie's wife is coming to Signature and they're bringing a car over here for agreement.
Charlie's wife is coming to land at Signature, you said?
Sir, and Jesse's going to go to Duncan right now and pick up a car for her.
Okay, I'm a little confused because that's what Corey just said. They said they're landing at Duncan, so I don't know where they're landing, but we will just kind of play it by ear, I guess, best that we can.
Oh boy, the most important witness in the case against Tyler Robbins.
Corey just said they said they're landing at Duncan. So.
Coming to Signature and they're bringing a car over here for agreement.
I need an officer at Timpanogos Hospital to come stage in the emergency room bay.
Jesse just told me that he just got on the phone and Charlie's wife is coming to Signature and they're bringing a car over here for agreement.
Charlie's wife is coming to land at Signature, you said?
Sir, and Jesse's going to go to Duncan right now and pick up a car for her.
I need an officer at Timpanogos.
Okay, can you just do a quick documenting that? Sorry, 10-9? Can you just add us up to the case documenting that there was no autopsy? Yeah,
287, I'll be clear to the hospital.
I need an officer at Timpanogos.
Certificate was signed by the doctor at the hospital.
Okay. The death certificate was signed by the doctor at the hospital.
Oh, okay. Can you just do a quick documenting that? Sorry, 10-9? Can you just add us up to the case documenting that there was no autopsy? Yeah.
That's crazy. Why wouldn't there not be an autopsy?
Sorry, 10-9? Can you just add us up to the case documenting that there was no autopsy?
Alright, hang on. You gotta see this. Isn't that weird? No, it's not weird. It's wrong. That's what that is. That's what that is. If that's the case, if that actually happened, if that, I'm not sure where this information is coming from. All I am saying is that if it comes down to why that there was no autopsy, right, at the time or the day, there should be one within. There should definitely be a forensic and full-on autopsy done within a few hours at least. And if there wasn't one done and maybe done later, That's so suspect. I'm not going to say sus. I fucking hate that word sus. It's so sus. No, it's just suspect. It's not correct. It doesn't make sense. It's wrong. It needs thorough investigation. That's what I'm saying. That's what, and whatever people want to say, Angie thinks it's the pissed off wife, whatever the fuck she wants to say. But the thing that I'm saying now, right, is that we need to know. We want to know what's going on. Yeah. Maybe there is a little thing there. Easier share wives hired. I wonder if. Hang on a second. Let me see. Go to channel. I'm gonna go to channel and see who this is. Oh, she's a nobody. Oh, she doesn't. She's just a. Let's see who this person is. She has 10 subscribers. Alright. I don't know what her gig is. That's interesting. I don't know. All I'm saying is there's a lot going on here. And the problem we've been having for a long time. I'm going to just jump through some social media real quick because there's more on this somewhere. Oh, Ellison buys out TikTok. I'm trying to get my TikTok back. I had 4,000 or something. I had a bunch of people on there, and then all of a sudden it just got wrong, and something I said or something reported me, and the next thing you know, I got strikes, and then I was off. Oh wow, there you go. Former YouTube CEO admits to pulling over 1 million COVID videos to silence anti-vaxxers. That's true. That happened. I think that's what Vivek was talking about as well. Right? Yeah, it was Peter McCullough. Yeah. Manny Soto, that guy's fucking badass. Look, he's got an M for his fucking belt. That's funny. Oh, some Polynesian girls. Oh, look. Oh, congratulations, by the way, the candy. And Aileen, like an alien, she called it. Candace is just gorgeous. She's pretty smart, too. She's an amazing girl. Original audio. Photos after the Los Angeles fires in January 2025 show. Oh, wow. Those are the meters they use that were controlled. Hold on.
The plants are the problem? Well, look at the plants. They're actually getting destroyed by these smart meters because of the radiation. Imagine what it's doing to humans. Then it gets weirder when you find out lawsuits claim faulty PG&E smart meters started their house fire. Those are California companies starting house fires. So the government almost has blind.
Yeah. That's who knows, but all I'm saying is there's just so much crap out there. Oh, there you are again. Okay. She doesn't even look real, does she? She's pretty if you saw her in person. I should have made a move on her a while ago. After Colombian President Gustavo Petro announced a proposal to mandate a UN protection for Gaza, Israel regime accountable for crimes. Oh God. Oh God. People say I'm tired of this life. I'd rather be dead. Okay. Oh, what's this? Shit, man.
Because did y'all
What the fuck? That's fucking crazy. Oh, sorry, you couldn't see that. This is. I don't even know if I want to play that again. Hold on. Hang on.
Jesus and go buy you some holy water by the gallon and fill it up in your bathtub, and you know how kind of like people baptize themselves? Just drown yourself in that shit. Like, just make sure you are fully submerged in some holy water.
Yeah. Okay. That's wild. Oh, Jane Caldwell. She's gorgeous. That's interesting. Universal Wealth, buddy.
Most of us, we just go for it, we look at it, we hope we get the result.
Oh, that's what I was talking about earlier. Google admitted to colluding with the Biden administration to censor speech related to COVID. The governmental response to COVID had huge consequences for our citizens. Yet Biden and Google didn't think we should even be discussing the appropriateness of mask and vaccine, the inappropriateness of mask and vaccine mandates, the legality of non-pharmaceutical interventions, or the efficacy of mRNA shots. This was exactly the moment when robust debate was most important. Yeah, that's when my channel got taken down mid-2020, because I was warning everybody. While legacy media has hyperventilated over a short suspension of a late-night TV host, little has been said of this gross violation of free speech. Yes. By serving as the Biden administration censor, Google acted as a de facto agent of the state in treasonous. This is absolute treason and violated the First Amendment rights in all of our First Amendment rights. Thank you, Ron DeSantis, for bringing that up. Trump learns FBI had 274 plainclothes agents at U.S. Capitol on January 6th. Asks who and why. Yeah, it wasn't 27, it was more. 274 instigators, part of the theater, crisis actors. Like I said, he has the fucking... he has the royal flush. Oh, let's see how this girl does. Did she say? Mike. This is just a picture. Okay. Oh, look, Bishop Museum.
I had a beheaded lady who's 9 months pregnant.
All right. That's kind of heavy. Yep, that's everywhere now. 274 agents sent to Capitol for J6. I'm telling you, it's coming. He will be using his. So
I'm about to explain to you the definition of insanity. Okay, as you can see all around here, multiple tents, a good 50 of them. They all look pretty brand new. And they are branded. The reason why is because they are handed out by the county and the city. What's crazy is what they also do is they post illegal notices regularly, which means this local government hands out tents and then a few days later removes the tents. Once the tents are removed, guess what they do? They give them more tents. And around and around and around we go. It's called whack-a-mole. It's big business, it's very profitable, but it's really just disrupts. It's very disruptive, very inefficient. And so as you can see, just over 50
blue areas. Those are blue areas. Blue Demoncratic areas. 40 dials a day keeps. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, I don't know what that is. There it is. It's everywhere now. FBI secretly deployed 274 plainclothes agents to Capitol on January 6th. Now, why would that happen? Do you guys understand why that would happen?
Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the street.
500,000 unredacted death certificates from Massachusetts. Every cause of death, every person, all their names, their parents' names, where they're from, medical examiner's office number, everything. So, that little girl, it said on her death certificate, complications of coronavirus 19 viral infection. That's the only thing it says on part 1. But there's a VAERS record of a 7-year-old girl from Massachusetts, one of only 4. Now, the girl, Cassidy Baraka, who died from Groton, Massachusetts, she died on January 18th, 2022. The VAERS record is of a 7-year-old girl from Massachusetts injected on January 13th. The VAERS record says, first injection, injected in 5 minutes, vomited for 8 to 10 hours thereafter. So they waited, and they gave her another injection. Severe abdominal pain, 103-degree fever, didn't have a bowel movement for 3 days. She was dead in 4.5 days. It's all facts. It's sworn to under oath in federal court, District of Massachusetts. So they wrote COVID on the death certificate, but I think we know what really killed her. 500,000.
I'm trying to warn you guys. Well, that's stupid. That's not a good sign for Trump. All right. Any Republican who criticized President Trump or J6 should be kicked out of the party. Let me see. Here we go. It was just revealed that the FBI had secretly placed against all rules, regulations, protocols, and standards 274 FBI agents into the crowd just prior to and during. I said this. I fucking said this, and I went through dozens of different videos and said, guaranteed that's an agent, guaranteed that's an agent, guaranteed that's a FBI asset, guaranteed, and because they were saying it was about 27. That was like the beginning, but there's way more. There was anyway. Agents into the crowd just prior to and during the January 6th hoax. Interesting. This is a different from what Director Christopher Wray stated over and over again. That's right. As it now turns out, FBI agents were at and in the January 6th protest, probably acting as agitators. Hello, there it is. I fucking said this from the very beginning. And most of the people kind of fell into the trap. But most of them stayed within the rope lines and really didn't do any much. Anybody else was just show. Agitators, insurrectionists, but certainly not as law enforcement officials. I want to know who each and every one of these so-called agents are and what they were up to on that now historic day. Many great American patriots were made to pay a very big price only for the love of their country. I owe this investigation of dirty cops and crooked politicians to them. Christopher Wray, The then director of FBI has some major explaining to do. That's 2 in a row, Comey and Ray, who got caught lying. With our great country at stake, we can never let this happen again to America. We can never let this happen to America again. And then over here, oh, this is interesting. You can't see this. Someone above is blocking the pardon of Dan Wilson. He has been in prison for 6 months. Ed has been diligently working to free him to no avail. Dan must be released. Yeah, there's a bunch of people still fucked over this bullshit. Yeah. So come on, man. Pull your heads out of your ass there, cabinet. Pam, do your fucking job for God's sakes. You don't need to wait till the midterms. You just don't need to wait till the midterms. I mean, just for gosh sakes, people. All right, let me jump over here real quick because I want to grab. Who is this Angie person? Wives hire hitmen all the time. His wife gives me the creeps. My God, this was a sophisticated operation. Quite possibly. Quite possibly. And you're always welcome to come on the show if you want to. You know, I'm gonna bet you, I don't know who you are or anything about you, so I usually like to go through Twitter or your Facebook a little bit to see where you're at. Independents, you know, Republicans, Demoncrats I won't let on here. I've tried to bring Democrats on here for years and years, and they don't. They're just scared. They don't have anything. They don't have anything. All they have is just hate, just uncontrollable, crazy fucking ass hate, and it's just the weirdest. It is disgusting, and it's shameful, and it's wrong, and it's terrible. Like, I hated a lot of stuff that Biden did during his illegitimate presidency, but there's no way I want anybody to take the guy out. I never ever hinted or mentioned that. Right? I wanted him to be sent. I wanted him to be investigated. I always put the law first when it comes to justice or punishment, right? And it's just the fucking cockroaches that came out of the vomited mass of cockroaches that came out of some people's mouths, even family members that I knew. Was just heinous, shameful, blala, disgusting. Blala for sure. All right, let me just jump back over here real quick. All right, and I kind of, I'm a little concerned about your response, but still, if you have something valid you want to discuss, you're more than welcome to stop by. Let me know. All right, we're going back to the playlist. There's some other thing that I kind of really wanted to get going. Yeah, it's weird there was no autopsy. That's just very suspect. It's not good. I don't think that's good for any investigation to just open and close case, kind of like the 9/11. Right? Just, okay, done. Just take our word for it. That's it. Okay, after Trump, what does it say? Officials say federal agents are in. Oh, you gotta watch these people. They're freaking out. I forgot to put it on another commercial.
Questions. Who are these agents and where have they been spotted and what exactly are they aiming to do? Local and state leaders are calling on the city and its residents to respond with peace and not resort to violence. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, that would be the smart thing to do. You just got a bunch of Demoncrats out there saying, nope, let's keep the violence going. That's what they're saying. right? But I'm going to tell you what Trump is really doing, because he's masterful at this stuff. Hey, by the way, hey Jordan, how you doing? Angie, you have a wrench? How do I don't remember you. I'm so sorry. Jordan, how come you don't have a wrench? Anyway. Hi, Angie. All right. It's been a long time. There's a lot of people I kind of forgotten. Some people just went full TDS, and some people just went, the Green Partiers definitely just went nuts. Let me jump back in here. I got to do a new tab. I keep forgetting to do the new tab part. All right. Shocking dispatch calls Expo FBI Charlie Kirk. Financial elite's dirty little secret. I want you to see this. Oh yeah, see, they're talking about the COVID censorship right there. All right, Jimmy Dore's talking about. Oh, Jimmy, finally talking about that. Okay. Like I said, I tried to warn you, bro, not to take the thing, but I spent like $120 in super chats trying to get through, and for some reason, Stephanie Zimmerano wouldn't read it. Oh. Maybe because she was concerned, but she could have at least told him. I mean, did anybody say, hey, don't fucking take that thing? Because I was. I like Jimmy Dore. I think he's trying. I think he gives a shit. Oh, this is a good one. Tony Robbins is back, people. This is how trauma tricks the brain into staying stuck. Yeah, trauma will fucking do that to you. It's like, how do you say? There are things that happen to people, and it doesn't have to be an accident. It doesn't have to be an injury. And it can be a loss when you lose somebody. Somebody you put your heart and soul into. Somebody that you gave everything that you could for that person. And it's almost like they died when they go away, when they do something to end the relationship. And it's traumatizing. I will tell you right now. I'm not I've been there. I'm telling you. Yeah. No autopsy. Intelligence connection. Orders FBI, yeah. So what I'm saying is Trump is actually setting up the blue states, because it's not just the criminal activities, the illegal immigrants, the sanctuary cities that are extremely dangerous. These are the epicenters where things will go really bad. Once these charges against Comey, against Mayorkas, against Christopher Wray, against the Trump, the Biden family, and a bunch of other Schmidt, Eric, what was his name? Yeah, and just a bunch of fucking people, bunch of Demoncrats everywhere. And he's going to make sure that the retaliation is going to be minimal and manageable. That's what he's doing. He's just getting ready to go after him. I mean, they tried to kill him twice, 3 times. They tried to kill, Money was looking. Let me see. Charlie Kirk expressed concerns about turning Port USA finances. Interesting. What else does she got? This is 2 days ago. I want you guys to watch this guy. This guy's just has some amazing videos, but I want you guys to pay attention to this guy. He's got some good stuff.
I think it was December 23rd.
Oh, come on. Where you at?
Admin.
Mike, you knew Charlie Kirk. Tell us about your personal friendship with Charlie.
I started working with Charlie is pretty much as soon as I got online. I started my Twitter account on December 9th, 2022. I think it was December 23rd or 24th. Charlie reached out to me and said, "Hey, I think what you're doing is really unique. I'd love for you to come on my show and tell my audience about it." I think at that point I had about 5,000 followers on X, totally brand new in the space I don't think I had done very much public.
There's a video I played of his the other day. It's some really good information. You guys should check it out. Maybe I'll play it again if I find it. James Comey indicted. Body language. Was he indicted? I mean, I know Ray is next. Adam Shit is going to be soon. Oh, this is good. This is the one he did, Mike Pence. I think I played some of this. Here comes a commercial. Nope.
Grassroots support for Trump. The Trump camp spoke effectively to the grassroots and relied on online channels to disseminate information and misinformation and influence the media. The right colonized Facebook, which has established a virtual monopoly on information distribution. We will adapt to the new reality and we will win. Media Matters will continue its core mission of disarming right-wing misinformation. Here's what success will look like. Serial misinformers and right-wing propagandists from social media to the highest levels of government will be exposed and discredited. Internet and social media platforms like Google and Facebook will no longer uncritically and without consequence host right-wing news sources or influencers. The goal in January 2017 was to get Google and Facebook to kick Trump supporters off of Google and Facebook. Toxic alt-right social media fueled harassment campaigns that silence dissent and poison our national discourse will be punished and halted. And then they went on to say Trump will be defeated either through impeachment or at the ballot. This is in January 2017. Crew Norm Eisenschop will be taking this on. Trump will be afflicted by a steady flow of damaging information. Trump allies will be forced to step down. We will delegitimize Donald Trump's presidency, stopping fake news and propaganda. This is coming from the propagandists with a propaganda super PAC. They were going after Breitbart. Breitbart at the time was
David Brock. There's a bunch of players. He's not the only one. I talked about the Edelman Group and Sinclair and a few other firms out there that play along with the globalist predator class.
Making tens of millions of dollars in online advertising revenue. They were the fastest growing media site in the world at the time.
Yeah, there's just so much, but I really recommend that you guys go watch some of his stuff. It's very well done and very well laid out, and everything's referenceable, and he provides those. Unlike me, but I mean, if you all you got to do is ask, and I'll send you the information. I've got tons and tons of it everywhere. Dropping down here. We're gonna. Oh wait. So I recommend watching that guy. He's got some good stuff. All right, science is in. Harvard and Johns Hopkins agree with RFK. Interesting. Tylenol linked to autism, and when you take it when you have kids isn't a good idea. Come on, just God, my gosh. All I'm saying, look, I've told you for years they've been methodically trying to kill you for a long time, and now most of them are gone. I don't even argue with a Demoncrat anymore, and that could be a politician or a supporter, because they're already on their way out the door. It sucks. I fucking tried. Most of these people are ill all the time, sick all the time, constantly have the flu. There's a buddy of mine that had to take it during the mandates of his company and his job. It was a fucking community college, and they made him take it. And the thing is he's had just major complications forever. And I know dozens of people that have taken it that have just not really excelled physically. Right? I mean, I took a flu shot in November of 2019. And that's it. Didn't take the mRNA, didn't take anything afterwards. I think I've been sick. Not even sick, like had a runny nose, maybe a little sore stomach, maybe had the runs or whatever a couple times, but I don't think I've ever been sick for more than half a day. You know, I drink a lot of water. I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. Potato chips. I had some potato chips today. So bad. I couldn't help it. The Ruffles. Had to have potato chips. I had hot dog, no bun. 2 hot dogs, no bun. Had a nice big pork chop. Ate a bunch of them. I made a big thing of mushrooms. I love mushrooms and garlic and real butter. I had a little bit of Dr. Pepper. That's I got to worry about that. My dad was a Dr. Pepper junkie. I really got to calm down on that shit. But anyway, I'm about 280 pounds, 6'1" something, and I hold it pretty well. I should be at like 252 would be good. That's what I'd like to be at, 252, because then I'd be more agile. So once I don't move pretty bad for a big fat old guy. I will say this: the amount of weight that I've lost in the past 2 to 3 years, things have changed in my body. It's fucking pretty cool, right? I'm just saying. Very strong, very strong. I'm long and I'm strong and I'm about to get the friction on. Baby got. Yeah. Top medical mushrooms. Yep. Look into that, you guys. This was interesting. I gotta play this. This is really interesting because it's commercial problem.
You're very welcome to this talk. Now I want to show you a picture of Rimmer. This is Rimmer. The Jordan Peterson talk just the other day.
Just like a dog cancer. Incredibly healthy. Actually, he's 4.5 in to get properly tested, where they shaved all of his belly. Yeah, all of that area here. It was also going to be great. So we decided the best way really was to allow the cancer to take its course and antihistamines had stopped. I came across golden paste, which I've been really bad at recently, but basically using golden paste as a way to control his cancer. This is when I first came across the use of mushrooms, turkey tail, particularly as a way of, it apparently had been useful in humans, so I looked at researching, I did some research on that, and I think initially I started giving him turkey tail powder because I didn't really know about the tincture and stuff. It didn't really have the effect. His nose got bigger. I'll show you a picture. I'll send a picture across. His nose, it got bigger and bigger. Along his nose, the tumour got knot, and you could hear it in his nose. That was then when I came across the Isle of Wight mushrooms. And the funny thing is, how I got talking to Alex was because my car payments weren't going through on the machine, so I kind of rang him up and spoke to him and explained what was going on. That's when we started to have the dialogue regarding Rimmer, and I explained to him what was going on, and then he explained to me how the tinctures would be better and more effective as a use of the cancer. And that's it really. We started giving him the same dosage of an adult human because he's a big old dog. And we're 4.5 years later and he's still here, and he's, well, you can see there, look, I mean, he's having a sleep at the minute. I mean, he's this is an incredibly healthy dog. You know your dog, you know when your dog's not well, and the tumour's still there, but it woke up and not knows what was going on. At least now they're going to come for cancer, so I suppose at some point it probably will, but it hasn't yet. And you know, even if he did, and it would absolutely break my heart.
Yeah, I've had a lot of dogs in my times, and cats and animals and all this. I just don't want to wipe, clean any more poop. I just, you know, I might have another dog. I mean, one day. I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. Not at this time. All right, and then find out they're lying about heartburn. What else? is going out there. Yo Romero's a badass. I just want to tell you guys that right now. Oh yeah, I gotta play some of this just for documentary purposes.
Your $200 puffer keeps you warm at the coffee shop, but as soon as you step outside, you're left.
I feel very happy. I'm really good at this stuff. Your countries are going to hell.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell the truth. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah,
Trump's speech to the UN is worth listening to in its entirety.
I love
but I've gathered all the satisfying moments where he slammed the UN and warned many of the countries of the path they are traveling down.
I don't mind making this speech without a teleprompter because the teleprompter is not working.
We find out that it later was intentional. They actually stopped the escalator so he couldn't go up the stairs. Just a bunch of fucking assholes. These people hate this guy, right? Not all of them. Just the globalist predator class. The globalist predator class, which is the most evil entity and group of people that you will ever meet in your entire life. I'm just telling you.
I feel very happy to be up here with you nevertheless. And that way you speak more from the heart. I can only say that whoever's operating this teleprompter is in big trouble. The fact is, the United States has been taken advantage of by the world for many, many years, but not any longer, as you probably noticed. In a period of just 7 months, I have ended 7 unendable wars. They said they were unendable. I'm very honored to have done it. It's too bad that I had to do these things instead of the United Nations doing them. And sadly, in all cases, the United Nations did not even try to help in any of these things instead of unendable wars. They said they were unendable. I'm very honored to have done it. It's too bad that I had to do these things instead of the United Nations doing them. And sadly, in all cases, the United Nations did not even try to help in any of them. I never even received a phone call from the United Nations offering to help in finalizing the deal. All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen.
And she's in great shape.
She's in great shape. We're both in good shape. We both stood. And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the 2 things I got from the United Nations, a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter. Thank you very much. And by the way, it's working now. It just went on. Thank you. I think I should just do it the other way. It's easier. It's uncontrolled.
She's so beautiful. She reminds me of somebody. Her eyes.
In 2024, the UN budgeted...
Her actual facial structure is just fucking... My God.
States. Think of that. The UN is supporting people that are illegally coming into the United States, and then we have to get them out. The UN also provided food, shelter, transportation, and debit cards to illegal aliens. Can you believe that?
Yeah, they have.
On the way to infiltrate our southern border. What took place is totally unacceptable. The UN is supposed to stop invasions, not create them and not finance them. I encourage all countries to take their own stand in defense of their citizens as well. You have to do that because I see it. I'm not mentioning names. I see it, and I can call every single one of them out. You're destroying your countries. They're being destroyed. Europe is in serious trouble. They've been invaded by a force of illegal aliens like nobody's ever seen before. Illegal aliens are pouring into Europe. Nobody is ever, and nobody's doing anything to change it, to get them out. It's not sustainable. And because they choose to be politically correct, They're doing just absolutely nothing about it. And I have to say, I look at London, where you have a terrible mayor, terrible, terrible mayor, and it's been so changed, so changed. Now they want to go to Sharia law, but you're in a different country. You can't do that. Both the immigration and their suicidal energy ideas will be the death of Western Europe if something is not done immediately. This cannot be sustained. What makes the world so beautiful is that each country is unique. But to stay this way, every sovereign nation must have the right to control their own borders. You have the right to control your borders, as we do now, and to limit the sheer numbers of migrants entering their countries and paid for by the people of that nation that were there and that built that particular nation at the time. They put their blood, sweat, tears, money into that country, and now they're being ruined. Proud nations must be allowed to protect their communities and prevent their societies from being overwhelmed by people they have never seen before, with different customs, religions, with different everything. Where migrants have violated laws, lodged false asylum claims, or claimed refugee status for illegitimate reasons, they should, in many cases, be immediately sent home. When your prisons are filled with so-called asylum seekers who repaid kindness, and that's what they did, they repaid kindness with crime, it's time to end the failed experiment of open borders. You have to end it now. See, I can tell you, I'm really good at this stuff. Your countries are going to hell. You're doing it because you want to be nice. You want to be politically correct, and you're destroying your heritage. In 1982, the executive director of the United Nations Environmental Program predicted that by the year 2000, climate change would cause a global catastrophe. He said that it will be irreversible, as any nuclear holocaust would be. This is what they said at the United Nations. What happened? Here we are. Another UN official stated in 1989 that within a decade, entire nations could be wiped off the map by global warming. Not happening. Now they could just call it climate change, because that way they can't miss. It's climate change. Because if it goes higher or lower, whatever the hell happens, there's climate change. It's the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world, in my opinion. Climate change, no matter what happens, you're involved in that. At extreme cost and expense, Europe reduced its own carbon footprint by 37%. Think of that. Congratulations, Europe. Great job. You cost yourself a lot of jobs, a lot of factories closed, but you reduced the carbon footprint by 37%. However, for all of that sacrifice and much more, it's been totally wiped out, and then some, by a global increase of 54%. Much of it coming from China and other countries that are thriving around China. If you don't get away from this green scam, your country is going to fail. And if you don't stop people that you've never seen before, that you have nothing in common with, your country is going to fail.
As a bonus, Trump even talked about the UN building that he could have renovated better.
Many years ago, a very successful real estate developer in New York, known as Donald J. Trump, I bid on the renovation and rebuilding of this very United Nations complex. I remember it so well. I said at the time that I would do it for $500 million, rebuilding everything. It would be beautiful. I used to talk about, I'm going to give you marble floors. They're going to give you terrazzo. I'm going to give you the best of everything. You're going to have mahogany walls. They're going to give you plastic. But they decided to go in another direction, which was much more expensive at the time, and which actually produced a far inferior product. And I realized that they did not know what they were doing when it came to construction, and that their building concepts were so wrong, and the product that they were proposing to build was so bad and so costly. It was going to cost them a fortune. And I said, and wait till you see the overruns. Well, I turned out to be right. They had massive cost overruns and spent between $2 and $4 billion on the building. and did not even get the marble floors that I promised them. You walk on terrazzo. Do you notice that? As far as I'm concerned, frankly, looking at the building and getting stuck on the escalator, they still haven't finished the job. They still haven't finished. That was years ago. Unfortunately, many things in the United Nations are happening just like that, but on an even much bigger scale, much, much bigger. Very.
Remember, the United Nations and the WHO are a team, the World Health Organization. Okay, just remember that. Yeah, anyway, let's jump over to. Let's jump over here. I'm gonna play this because I think this is important for people to know. And let me put my mug back on here. Why not? Remember, this is more of like a documentary. So if you want to get your message out, one of the best ways to do it is this way. Yeah. Let's see what he's saying here.
A landslide times 2 when you have that level of popularity or voter support, as I did in the last election, and yet 97 and 94%, different numbers, you see different numbers with different stats, but 97, 94, 95, 96% of the people are against me in the sense of the newscasts are against me. The stories are they said 97% bad. So they gave me 97. They'll take a great story and they'll make it bad. See, I think that's really illegal, personally. You can't have a free airwaves. You're getting free airwaves from the United States government, and you can't have that and say, and somebody that just won an election, and I had to go through this during the election. I think it's a miracle that I can win. When 97% of the stories on the networks are bad, or whatever it may be, whether it's 89, it doesn't matter. It's a tremendous number. You know it, you report it all the time, and it changes. But when you have that kind of a negative reporting, fake negative reporting, when they take a great story and they make it into a bad story constantly, that's what they do. Look, 60 Minutes took Kamala's answer and they threw it out and they gave her a different answer so that she sounded competent. When things like that happen, George Slopadopoulos from your network, right? George Slopadopoulos had to pay $16 million to me because of what he said. And that's ABC. You had to pay more than that. Your network had to pay more than that. So I think it's very sad. But I think that reporting has to be at least accurate to an extent. Again, when somebody is given 97% of the stories are bad about a person, that's no longer free speech, that's no longer anything. That's just cheating. And they cheat. And they become really members of the Democrat National Committee. That's what they are, the networks, in my opinion. They're just offshoots of the Democrat National Committee. Mr. President. A landslide ×2 when you have that level of popularity or vote.
So President Trump just dropped a bombshell. The Smith-Mundt Act will be restored to its original glory. And you know who took that down was illegitimate President Obama. It's time to obliterate Obama's sabotage and take this country back since 1940. So the Smith-Mundt Act means that if you're a major whatever social media or publication or cable news network, you just can't fabricate shit. And this has happened forever. And most of the people that hate Trump, that said nasty things about Charlie Kirk and a bunch of other shit, have been brainwashed by the mainstream media. Rachel Maddow, Chris Hayes, Anderson Cooper, CNN, MSNBC, even Fox News are fucking assholes too. And it's just sad. And we're just seeing it all the time. It's got to stop. By the way, if you need insurance, let me know. I'm a licensed life insurance agent. here's the biggest reason why you shouldn't wait to get your life insurance. If you want to protect your family, that's it. Let me know. There's so many great options that are very helpful. Yeah, this is true. That's true. Antibiotics. There's just some antibiotics I've been using for a long time. Oregano oil, black seed oil, cinnamon, turmeric, garlic, manuka, honey, echinacea, usnea, relief. All kinds of good stuff. And Carrie and Dean's got some good stuff too. Breaking the habit of being yourself. That's a good one. Yeah. This is great right here.
What are your thoughts on the new vaccines that they're pushing out now?
I mean, I think that going and getting a COVID-19 booster is now reserved for the mentally ill and those who are making a political statement. I've seen this. I'm not going to listen to anything Secretary Kennedy says. I'm going to go get a COVID-19 booster. There is nothing, and we document this very, very carefully in our book, there's nothing in the COVID-19 vaccine program, starting with the fact they don't work. They don't prevent infection and transmission.
Look at the girls smiling.
The entire COVID-19 vaccine program is a fraud. So I think the American people are going to have to wake up to this reality. The public needs to understand that the pharmaceutical companies purchase all of this advertising not actually to sell pharmaceutical products. If you have an ailment, you can go to your doctor. Your doctor is aware of the pharmacopoeia for your ailment. It's to buy media influence. So guys like him aren't allowed to go on the mainstream media to raise questions, to propose conversations about this, because if he does, the principal advertising purchaser is going to call the news director and say, get him off. So I hope it's not too confusing of a point. They're not selling pharmaceutical products, they're buying the narrative.
What are your thoughts on the new...
Very well said. That's pretty much it. Wow. This is my favorite one right here. I've been putting this up for days. Don't drink your piss. Liberals, they start drinking their own piss. That's how fucking looted. It's just mental illness. I don't know what to say. There's just people out there that have poisoned themselves for so long with the crap they've been putting in their bodies, the medications, etc. It's just bad, And if you can clean up for a little bit, like for example, me, I haven't had a beer in like a year. I just don't feel like doing it. I just haven't found the right person to hang out and party with yet. Maybe I will, but maybe I won't. It's just, and if I do, I want to keep it simple, just not as much as I used to. Trust me, back in the day. But this is a good one right here. I like this one. Oh, I love these races. I used to watch these at I forgot the name of the lake, but up in Puget Sound, they'd have these races. Oh, they were just fucking awesome. Yeah, this person here, I think I blocked. Lisa Shea. Oh, this is a dude. Oh my God, I find out that's a dude who's a trans, who says this. You definitely have to imagine it because it's not real. All right, whatever. Oh, look at these guys. Yummy. Look at that big black marlins. Oh my God, how fucking cool would that be? This is the funniest fucking golf YouTube video you could ever watch. These dingbat girls is fucking hilarious. You just gotta watch it. It's fucking hilarious. I posted this Amish fact back in the late 20s. We were all vindicated. We can now find one vaccine. The vaccine is terrorists or guilty of mass injury, death, crimes against humanity. Totally. Oh yeah, Jimmy Kimmel's back. Not by popular demand. Oh, this is a good one. The people who called the police on you when you didn't wear a mask are now saying we live in a police state. I mean, the hypocrisy of the Democrats is just crazy. As an purely I'll just leave this up and let you read it. But Charles Rideo's put some interesting shit up here. Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg definitely was a total fucking... I just can't believe Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg were sitting next to Donald Trump and Melania Trump the other day. I was just like, what the fuck? Yeah. We want criminal treasonous charges against Fauci and Big Pharma associates instead of these completely useless dog and pony show congressional hearings. For fuck's sakes. God, we're sick of it. Yeah, and a lot of people don't think it's going to happen. You know, just remember I said this. By the end of next year, it'll be proven beyond the shadow of a doubt that 2020 election was completely rigged by the Democrats, the deep state. Just remember. We know it's coming. Who owns the land under Waikiki? Hawaiians. That's the answer. It should be, I'm going to tell my kids this is the church. Oh, that's a good one, Carrie. She's really sweet. Decent, good, feeling, patriotic, hardworking marriage in Southern California. Republican Party. I posted this a while back when Tim Walz sent people out to shoot people in Minnesota with sandbags and rubber bullets for being out during COVID. Nah, that's not Nazi. And then this one I had put up, Pam, you need to get your shit together, and then all of a sudden she does a great job. That was just weird. This is one of my favorites. All people had to do was to be fully against murdering someone for their political opinions. That was the moral test. Shocking how many seem to have failed it. Okay. Let me get back to the Lama Capillo. Yeah, this is it right here. We want it here, people. That's it. We the people want arrests. We the people want prosecutions. We the people want convictions. Yeah. Charges. The whole thing. We're sick of the baloney that's been happening, and nothing's been happening for such a fucking long time. We're just tired of it. We want to see some of these Demoncrats. And you're going to see it. It's coming. Just, it's not as fast as you want, but it will come soon. And then it's going to, but Trump's preparing for it. That's what I'm telling you guys. He's getting all the blue states locked down so they can't retaliate on others, which they will. Once these people find out just how insidious, just how criminal, how treasonous the Democratic Party is, playing alongside of the globalist predator class, there are going to be some people that are going, no way, and they're going to fucking freak out. And you just better keep your head on straight. That's all I'm telling you. And just watch what's going to happen. And just look at the evidence and look at the charges and look at the proof and everything that comes out, and just follow it, because it's going to freak you out. It's going to freak you out. And then you might say, why the fuck did I take that thing in my arm 3 or 4 times? Why the fuck was I thinking? I just told you why. I've been telling you why. I've been showing you why. The mainstream media doesn't give a fuck about you. The reason why they're there, right? The reason why the mainstream media is there is to manipulate you. And once Obama got rid of the Smith-Mundt Act, they've been the greatest threat to everything in our society by far. They are the bad thing. And they've done so much shit to so many people and destroyed lives and curbed thinking in so many bad ways. By the way, partyexodus.org is gone. FWF is gone. Non-party voters is gone. I don't even use those anymore. I don't need to. I don't need to keep paying for that or the website. Trump's doing everything that I'd like him to do. Yeah, people are just saying he's not going to do it, but he's going to do it. I think he's going to completely take down the Demoncratic Party. So if you got a party out there, I think it should just be independent. I mean, he was a fan. He's a big fan of George Washington. He's always believed that it should be an independent situation. Everybody should be independent and vote for whoever they want. I don't, the whole party thing is a polarization. It means it's a divide and conquer tactic. It's been that way for a long time. But George Washington, our first president, that's part of the founding, he is the founding father, in my opinion, right? I have already intimated to you the danger of parties in the state, with particular reference to the founding of them on geographical discriminations. Let me now take a more comprehensive view and warn you in the most solemn manner against the baneful effects of the spirit of party generally. It's the baneful effects of the party. And that's what's happening. It's like they're using it against you, but nobody... He understood this over 250 years ago. This guy understood this. I mean... What you need to do is go look at his letter of his last address. You've got to read it. And I've read it kind of maybe two or three times, but I will say this. The way that the English was spoken, and I'm not saying he had an English language. He really didn't. But it's the way they conveyed their messages. They were so precise, so concise, so eloquent in the way they spoke. It was just beautiful to read and hear the way they spoke and the way they, I mean, just those words alone is better than any of the dribble that's coming out of people's mouths today, right? If I try to write, if I ever try to create writing, when I try to on Facebook or Twitter, X or whatever, I try to make it seem like I somewhat know a little bit of English and grammar and punctuation, all that stuff. I'm not great at it, but I try to present it so you believe that I'm honestly doing it from my core, my heart, my soul. Okay, and I think that's huge. Right? And there's a girl out there I know who does this very well, and I wish to the gods and God and universe and Jesus and everything. She get back out there. I don't know. Maybe she's somebody's prisoner now. I don't fucking know. It seems like it. I don't know. Poor thing. Anyway, I wish nothing but happiness for that girl. Nothing but happiness. All right. Let me just see if there's anything else that I kind of wanted to get out, but I haven't. I usually go to these. No, I'm not verified. I don't give a fuck about that. Don't care about the verification shit, bro. Really don't care. I keep telling everybody about this. America first and foremost. And there it is right here, my favorite. Let me just grab this for you and I'll leave this on here for you. Hopefully that'll be my screenshot. Right here. This is the one I want. This is the one I want. Right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. Here. Right here. This is what you should be paying attention to, people. Dear Republicans, no. For fuck's sakes, no. We don't want any more dog and pony show congressional hearings, Rand Paul. Right? Congressional fucking do-nothing hearings. We don't want those anymore. We want charges, arrests, prosecutions, jail sentence, etc. That's what we want. And they're coming. I think they're coming. I can only pray. There's really, I mean, everybody says, well, what are you going to do? There's nothing we can do now. He's already in charge. He's already doing the job. Right? Just like we had to gruesomely go with all the craziness and the fucking pedophilia, grooming, trans crap that fucking Biden and Kamala were doing. And their dancing, disgusting shit. Right? And I'm not against dancing. I like dancing. I like, doing the pirouettes with the girl on the dance floor and stuff. Kind of miss that shit, honestly. But I will say this with fervor. Trump is probably the best thing that happened to this country. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. And you'll find out. There's people I even talked to on the phone the other day. And said, oh, they're still the same. They're doing this and that. And I go, look. Bibi's going to betray Trump again. And he's going to go, you know what, dude? You're really making this whole shit look bad and fuck off. That's what's going to happen. I guarantee it. Bibi's going to piss Trump off. And then Trump's going to, you know what? You fucked up. Look, we did it. But now you're just a fucking asshole. And I don't want to deal with somebody like you anymore. I think that's going to happen. Or maybe he already knows. I don't know. In any case, this is what we want. This is what we want. Fucking do it. Why can't I just go to the next one? Or the last one? What is this? What are double arrows for? I don't understand. Oh, here. And then this, of course. I keep saying this. Right. Trump has the royal flush of criminal treasonous evidence against all the Demoncrats. He could eliminate their party with the stroke of his pen. The question is, will he? Right? Just let sick Pam on him. Hopefully she'll fucking do her job. Right? I don't care who goes down. I really do. I just want people to go down. I want orange suits. I want orange prison suits for these fucking people, and we're all kind of getting sick about it. But anyway, listen, mahalo. Thank you very much for watching. Aloha, mahalo. Take care of yourself. Eat better. Feel better. Enjoy yourselves. Oh man. Oh wait, I gotta show you. This is fucking cool. This is so cool. And I'm not a super big fan, but my buddy, we're going golfing again out. I don't know if you can see this, but here's that's my buddy I golf with, Eddie. He's hanging out with Andy Reid of the Chiefs. They were at the college golf course. I don't know why they were there, but it was fucking cool. Right? Got his autograph. You son of a bitch. Yeah, that's so fucking cool, man. Good for Eddie. He deserves. He's a good kid.